Hey guys, what's up? It's iFlynn here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to farm Equinox. This is one of the more time-consuming frames to farm, simply because she has a lot more parts. Whenever you compare her to other frames, you actually have to build like two versions of this frame, the day and the night aspect, but you also have to farm the day and the night aspect blueprint. So you have 4 parts for the day and 4 parts for the night, and then you need to put those together to make the actual frame itself. So it's gonna be a grind, and this is kind of like, you know, a newer player's first like tedious grind, I would say, because it's just one of those frames that has a lot of parts and the mission's kind of boring. So it's very easy, but it's also kind of boring. But thankfully, it is a very easy boss to do, and you can play it in a lot of different ways. So for example, in today's video, I'm going to be using Nova, but you can do this with Excalibur, you can do this with Frost, you can do this with Vault. Basically any frame that you farmed up to this point on the star chart, you can do it with. So yeah, so anything that you farm, maybe apart from Mag. Maybe apart from Mag. Well, I don't know. You could maybe make an argument for Mag, but as a newer player, it's gonna be easier if you use like Nova, Frost, Vault, etc. So yeah, Nova's just gonna make it the easiest. So we're gonna go over Nova, and we'll talk a little bit about the Frost builds and stuff like that. But the first step to getting any frame is getting the blueprint, right? So to get Equinox's blueprint, go to the market, type in Equinox in the top left, press it, go ahead and press the build icon. Purchase the blueprint, 25,000 credits, and then we have to get the Equinox night aspect and Equinox day aspect. So that's going to be confusing to newer players looking at it who are used to just getting the helmets, the systems, and the chassis. So yeah, so like I said, we have to get the night aspect and the day aspect actually from the mission, which is Titania on Uranus. So that's what we're going to be doing. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at some builds. So I'm going to show the weapon builds first. The weapon builds, basically the same as all the other previous how to farm videos. We have the Heck, which is Charged Shell, Contagious Spread, Point Blank, Blaze, Scattered Justice. You get this from Steel Meridian. You get this from Nightmare missions. This is just a usual pickup, and same with Charged Shell and Contagious Spread. They drop from different mobs. If you go into my Twitch channel and you do the mods command, you can actually get yourself a spreadsheet, which will show you where to get all of these mods, pretty much, apart from this one. This one you get from Steel Meridian, which is a Syndicate mod, right? So moving on, I also use the Sonic Core, but we're not going to be using this in the fight. This is the build that I have on it. This is simply just for ragdolling mobs, so if they get too annoying, I can ragdoll them and then get them out of my way. And then I have the Redeemer on here, which is Shock and Touch, Fever Strike for my elements, Fury for more attack speed, Pressure Point for more melee damage, which just ups the damage off the weapon altogether, okay? And then moving on to my Nova build, this is the Nova build that I'm using. Exact same as the previous how to farm videos, like I said. Continuity for duration, flow for more energy, concentration for more duration, streamline for efficiency, so my abilities cost less to cast, narrow-minded for more duration and less range. Range doesn't matter in Nova. Vitality for health, intensify for more power strength, so then the enemies get slowed by a lot more, which is what we're looking for in this fight. And then auger message for even more duration, and then any aura mod that you basically have. In this case, I'm using Energy Siphon, which will restore my energy at a rate of 0.6 per second, which is pretty cool. Moving on to the Excalibur build. Excalibur, basically what you're going to be doing with Excalibur is using your Radial Blind ability to stun them, and then using your fourth ability to basically deal all the damage, right? So this is the build that I'm using. It is more or less a Radial Blind build. You can throw a little bit more power strength on by throwing Intensify in this slot right here. So let's go ahead and do that. And then that's going to give you more damage versus, well, basically on your Exalted Blade. So what we're doing is building for range and duration. So Continuity for duration, Intensify for power strength on your Exalted Blade, Overextend it for your ability range, and then compare that with, or not compare that, combine that with Stretch, Concentration for more ability duration, Steam of Auger Message, Streamline for cast and efficiency, Vitality for health, and then you'd swap this here out for your Energy Siphon if you happen to have it, because that's going to help you regen energy. And regenning energy early on is kind of your biggest downfall as a newer player. So on the Exalted Blade, this here is the build that I would run as a newer player. There you go. So Shock and Touch and Fever Strike for your elemental combo, Fury for your attack speed, Organ Shatter, Pressure Point for your crit damage and your main damage, which is pretty straightforward. Moving on to Frost, which is another frame that I'd recommend using. The Frost build doesn't really matter too much. Basically just throw on stretch and then throw on a little bit of duration, put down your snow globe, and then any enemy that walks into it is going to be slowed. You can also throw on your power strength and your vitality and your steel fiber to up the health of your snow globe, and then your casting efficiency on your streamline and fleeting expertise. You're not going to have power drift, so completely ignore that. And then throw on your energy siphon, which again I have cruise protection on, but you swap this out for energy siphon if you happen to have it, so then you can obviously cast your abilities because you're going to have energy at that point, right? So other than that, with Vault, your Vault build will look a little bit like this right here. I'm just going to be using, well, I'm not going to be using but I would just use a Vault Shield build, so you can use your fourth ability to basically CC any Manics that spawn in, because Manics are going to spawn in during this fight. Use your fourth ability to CC Manics, and then use your third ability, your Electric Shield, to shoot through that and deal more damage to whatever enemy it is that you're shooting at, right? If you're lacking in the damage section. But if you're using Nova, Excalibur, Frost, etc., the enemies are going to be slow enough for you to just lay into them, so it doesn't really matter what your damage is like. So, well, it does, but it also doesn't, because they're going to more or less be completely still. So I don't really recommend Volt that much, but if you like playing him and you want to speedrun it, then by all means go ahead. So yeah, so we're going to be using Nova. Nova makes this extremely easy, like I mentioned, slows them all down, and here we go. So let's jump into the mission. This boss fight is not hard. It's probably one of the easier boss fights in the game. It's one of the coolest fights, because like the bad guy is gonna like do like some map changing stuff. He's gonna try to flood the place like the sooner or the later the fight goes on. So he has some invulnerability stages, but in those invulnerability stages he can't damage you at all. So there's that. So it's just like whenever he's breaking the glass to flood the place, you're gonna see whatever we get into anyway. But yeah, it's a really easy fight, but probably one of the, I guess, well-voiced characters in the game. I don't know. I guess the voice acting in this game is pretty good. Like the likes of, I'm not gonna say anything. I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, he's a pretty cool character. The only thing is, if you're going too fast, like this here's the little cave that leads to the boss fight area, because the dialogue's still going on, we can't actually start the mission yet. Like the boss fight won't start until the dialogue goes away. So you have to, oh, never mind. Okay, well then sometimes maybe it's hit or miss. Apparently it does, but the last couple of runs that I've been doing, the dialogue hasn't been starting. So this is Tyl Regor. As you can see, he's a very mobile boss. He's going to try to rush you. He'll teleport and yada 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 and run around in circles and randomly teleports behind you. Nothing personnel kid, you know, that stuff. But he, like, you can just jump over him. You know, like it's not extremely difficult. Like, you know, you could maybe just fly in the air and then shoot at him like that if you don't have any of the mods or abilities or whatever, because he can't do any like ranged attacks because boss design in 2018, right? So what you're gonna want to do with Nova is just go ahead, hit 4, and now walk up to him. There you go. That's it. That's as easy as it gets. And now he's in his invulnerability stage. He's gonna change around the map like so. And can't shoot him here. And now next thing you know, Manics are going to start to spawn in. So what we're going to do again is we're going to hit 4 right about now. And then there's the guy. So wait for the sound cue for the guy spawning in, and then just kill these guys. Whenever you shoot them once, you're going to have like a little invulnerability stage as well. Just give it a little minute and then shoot them again. And then do the same. And then they're dead. And the Tyl Regor is going to spawn again. Just go ahead, hit your 4 if the Emperor effects wears off. And then next invulnerability stage, spawns here. Does the thing with his fists again, where he breaks the glass and floods the place. So that's going to turn into like electric water down there. 8 hours later. My house phone's ringing. There you go. And now 2 more Manics are going to spawn in. One's a Bombard, and the other is just a Grenier Manic again. So wait for the glass to break. Hit your 4. It's going to expand. There's the first Manic. Where's the second guy? There he is. Let's go ahead and shoot him. And this guy right here. Shoot him again. And then one more time. Nope. Never mind. Teleports. Hello? Why you keep running? Come back! Where did he go? I don't know where he went. Feels bad. Whatever, it's fine. So, can you stay still? Okay. One more time. There you go. So now Tyl Regor's gonna spawn. Go ahead, use your 4 again whenever he spawns in. Wait for it. There he is. And he's dead. And this is how you can farm Gallium here. If you need to farm Gallium. But other than that, this is just the boss fight. You don't have to bring Nova because Nova slows it down quite a bit. Like just the general boss fight because he's a lot slower and his invulnerability stages last a little bit longer. So that's why I said you might want to use Volt because you have your speed ability. You get to the boss fight a lot quicker and stuff like that. But, you know, it's really down to you. Excalibur makes it pretty easy because you have the stealth kill effect and yada yada yada. But you're going to have to get the Equinox Day chassis, Equinox Day systems, Equinox Day neuroptics, and then the Equinox Day aspect. On top of that, the Equinox Night aspect, the Equinox Night systems, Equinox Night chassis, Equinox Night neuroptics, and then you have to build those as separate warframes, right? So to put the... Okay, let's see if I actually have any other parts so I can kind of show it. Equinox. So here you go. You have the Equinox Day aspect and the Night aspect. So you need to craft all this stuff and then craft this, and this takes 3 days, and then this also takes 3 days. So try crafting all this stuff at the same time. I believe the Equinox Night systems is actually the rarest part. So if you get that early, count yourself lucky because you got it. So yeah, and then the Equinox Day systems is also pretty rare, but I have trouble getting the aspects sometimes, so there's that too, and that's just kind of me going from experience and stuff like that. So yeah, you gotta craft these like individual frames and then you have to put them together, which is going to take another, I think, 72 hours as well. Let's just go ahead and double check on the blueprint just to make sure. Equinox 3 days. So yeah, so it's gonna take a long time for you to build Equinox, but she is one of the best frames in the game. You know, she is, you can make so many different builds. She has so many different uses. You can make her be like Nova with Peaceful Provocation. You can make her a damage dealer with her meme. You can make her like a CC god or goddess, sorry, because she is female, because they did set it on a dev stream one time. I don't care if her night form looks like it's a guy. It's a girl, okay? But that's besides the point. Yeah, she has a lot of uses, and I recommend getting her as soon as possible. She is definitely my top 3. Definitely. So other than that, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, go ahead, hit that like button below. If you want to see more Warframe videos from me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.